Hi, it's Monday night and it's Got Live, and we're a little bit late today because our guest had a small amount of technical difficulties. So tonight it's just going to be Tascha and I.
Yeah.
So we're just going to have a conversation, and one of the things we're going to talk about is I have been going inside the Toronto Donut Ride, and as someone who's new to pack riding, I've been trying to learn as much as I can, and so we're gonna talk about it, and Tascha has some questions for me because it's something that she's always wanted to try.
Yeah, something I've never done, so.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna share as much knowledge as I can about it, and then we're gonna be moving into my race recap of my very first SUP race win, and I actually have a cool little video to show everybody. And
I am going to talk about saddles. This is my only saddle that I'm able to use, so I'll talk a little bit more about what to look for in saddles and why this is the one for me. So.
Okay, so this is a little bit of a history recap. So the Donut Ride, and I'm just going to show a picture here. So this is the route. The Donut Ride dates back to 1976. It's a Toronto tradition for many cyclists, and this ride has grown in popularity since the 70s. Over the years, the ride now hosts many notable Canadian cyclists, including Mike Barry, his son Michael Barry Jr., who has raced for a whole bunch of competitive or corporate teams, and then as well as Jocelyn Laval. Today the ride still hosts many amateur or semi-amateur racers, and they use it as a warm-up ride. I think that the fact that there's a lot of pros or ex-pros or amateur racers scares a lot of people off, so I don't think you guys should be afraid of that aspect of it. Instead, look at it as a way to learn something from people who are actually a lot more skilled and advanced as you, because a lot of the time these pro riders are coming in and using it as sort of their warm-up ride or their easy ride or whatever. So they're just there to hang out with their friends, and it's more of a social ride for them, and it's a workout for the rest of us. So, yeah.
Well, I have some questions for you. So I personally have never done it. When I first heard the term donut ride, it was quite intimidating to me because I've heard a lot of things about it that, as a woman, I tend to shy away from it because of the fact that you hear about all these men racers and fast guys. And so, Michelle, what exactly is the donut ride? You've experienced it twice now.
Yeah.
What in your opinion, is the donut ride?
Okay, so the donut ride, from what I've learned in my 2 days, from 2 weekends in a row now, the donut ride, the reason why it's called a donut ride is because it started at a donut shop at Eglinton and Laird. There is no longer a donut shop there. I thought the donut ride was a bunch of like old kind of, overweight men that just went on bikes and rode around and ate donuts. Not joking. So it's not that. So it used to start in the 70s at this donut shop. Okay. So it was a bunch of guys that just wanted to get together and ride, and then it grew, and then it grew, and then it grew. And so there's really no there are no donuts. I didn't see a single donut.
Oh, I love donuts.
I know,
so.
But the thing is that they do ride around at around 20 or 30K from the end. They do stop at a place called Grandma's, and they have Danishes and they have coffee.
Not the same.
So not the same. But these guys are fast. Like there are a lot of guys. There are a lot of guys who are there. It's like mostly guys. There's maybe a handful of women. So that can be intimidating, but they're really helpful and actually really want to share their experience with you and really want to share their tips. If they see you doing something that's going to endanger the pack, or they see you, just sort of flailing, they will give you tips. Like on Saturday, one of the guys was like, just try to draft a little bit more. You'll save your legs. And I was just like, no, it's okay, thanks. And I should have done it. Just I needed. Cool. So yeah. So I mean, yeah. So that's why it's called a donut ride, just because it started at a donut shop and now it's a donut ride.
So in terms of level, and your ability and strength, like as a cyclist, I know for myself, I don't have trouble staying with the pack and whatnot, but for people that are coming to do something like this for the first time, what level should they be at in terms of speed? Like, what would you expect?
Okay, so I was told by several people before I did the first ride that this is all levels, from beginner to expert. I'm going to say that's false, and maybe there are when there are groups of maybe 200 riders, there probably is that room for a beginner. But having said that, the more people who ride, okay, so to answer the question first, you have to, for the groups that I've rode with so far, you have to be able to comfortably ride 35 kilometers an hour by yourself. So if you can go 35 kilometers an hour for a long stretch of time by yourself, you can probably stay, with the pack when they start to, because they will go up to speeds of within the pack of up to 50 to 60 kilometers an hour when they go into their sprints.
Yeah.
So that's what you have to be prepared for. So I would say doing a bit of training on your own before starting the ride is a good idea. But like I was getting into, like with any group or any pack, the more 20K per kilometer hour riders there are, there's now a new group. Yeah. If a whole bunch, like say 10 people started riding at around 20, 25 kilometers per hour, then that becomes a new group. Okay. So I think that the group can be whatever it wants to be. It just becomes how many people are going to show up.
Okay.
So cool. I think encouraging more and more people who are more beginner is a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Do I need to be a member, or can I just show up?
No. So this is actually absolutely. There was an accident many years ago, and for that reason, there is no membership required, and there's no insurance. There's you are going at your own. It's just a show up. Okay. No structure, no executive club, no executive board, nothing. It's just a group ride.
Wow.
Yeah. So you have to take
go at your own risk.
Go at your own risk, exactly. Yeah. But be prepared.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. So if I was doing this for the first time.
Yes.
And I'm an experienced rider, but I'm coming out for the first time, kind of hesitant, not really knowing what to expect. Mm-hmm. Do you have some pointers or some tips that you could give me?
Well, you're a rider, so we can share tips because Tascha has done pack riding a lot longer than I have. But we were just discussing off air some things that are a little bit different, specific to the donut ride. So I guess we should say, we've already discussed, you should ride comfortably for 35 kilometers an hour, just so that you can stay with the pack. One of the first mistakes I made was I was afraid of the pack, so I stuck at the front thinking I won't get hurt if I'm at the front. And then you end up wearing your legs down because you're hauling 60 people behind you. That was a big mistake because I got dropped very, very quickly my first ride. So in the second ride, I took the warm-up seriously, and I stayed inside the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
And
save your legs.
Save your legs, yeah.
Because those attacks might happen, and you want to be ready and to jump on someone's wheel.
Yeah, and it's not so much attacking. It's not they really sprint together as a group.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not really a lot of breakaways. There's not really anybody who would bother. It's like the sprint goes together as a group, so it's kind of nice. But it's when the sprint goes together as a group, if you can't keep up because your legs are tired, then you're gonna get left behind. The biggest thing when you're pack riding, as you know, is hand signals.
Yeah, definitely. So
Tascha and I are just gonna quickly go through the basics 101 of hand signals. Yeah. So if you're riding in a pack, I'm gonna let you do the first demo. Like, what's the most important hand signal?
Stop.
Stop. Okay, so Tascha's demoing stop. So
that would be putting your hand, your right hand, just down.
Exactly. So this is the signal for stop. Whether you're riding in a pack, riding on the street, riding anywhere.
Like, you never know who's behind you. Like, you just want to make people aware of what's going on in front of you.
Yeah. So this is a great signal, except for in the donut ride, there's so many guys. There's all big guys. And you need to be looking not just in front of you, but maybe probably 5 guys in front of you. So from my running experience, when we stop, we put our hand up like this. and to signal stop. So I was doing that, and then I noticed other people did it as well, and I had a conversation with one of the guys who were in the club, and he said he prefers it when the people in the pack put their hand up, just because for visibility reasons. Yeah. Some people get caught up in conversations and they're just not paying attention, and he's like, if you're in 6 people deep, you can't see that hand signal. So put your hand up or put your hand like this, I think work both. Yeah. I think it's understood that you're stopping. Yeah.
Another one that is important, I ride with Morning Glory, huge, and there were 700 members as of today.
That's awesome.
Which is great. Another one is pointing out what's on the road. So if there's potholes, if there's glass, and that is just pointing down at it. So if I'm riding and I see and there's a pothole coming up, I would point with whichever side it's on. So if it's on my right, I'd point with my right finger down.
Exactly.
And just letting people know, because flats can happen depending on what speed you're going at to.
If you hit a big pothole, you're going over your handlebars. The other one to demo is the gravel. So gravel is the same thing. You put your hand down and you just kind of like, shake your hand or whatever, just to say it's sand, it's gravel, something's not really right.
Another one, if there's a trap.
Yes, this is a good one.
Basically putting your hand.
They can't see that.
Oh, sorry.
So turn around.
There we go.
So you put your hand. You gotta stand up. You put your hand behind your back, and with your And then the other one too is patting your back like this to say, pay attention, slow down, pay attention, I'm passing. So these are some of the basic hand signals. And again, not only when riding in a pack, but riding anywhere when there's other people around.
And one other one, just when you're passing, just letting people know on your right.
Oh,
so people know that you're coming up around them. On your right.
It's always
on your left, on your right.
Yeah. But it doesn't, wherever you're gonna pass, it's always safest to pass on your left. And this is anywhere.
On your right or left. Yeah. It is safer to pass on.
Yeah, this is also another thing. It's just communicating completely. Just communicating, using as much talking as possible. I mean, I was getting yelled at one point. You can't get frazzled when they start screaming at you because they're trying to get out of being blocked in, and they know you're in the wrong position. So just let things slide off your back. Like, no one's getting upset with you because they're mad at you. They're just frustrated with the situation. So one of the other things about pack riding, or riding in general, is always go prepared. So don't expect that if you're on a ride, like if Tasha and I went for a ride, I'm not going to expect that if I get a flat, she's going to wait for me for 10 minutes for me to fix. Yeah, but if you're on a workout, I don't want to ruin her workout. So always come prepared with a flat kit. And Tasha,
someone's told me always keep it in your pouch in your on your bike at the back.
Yeah.
Always keep a $20 bill and just leave it there, because if you ever have to take a cab because you don't have stuff or you need money, just leave it in there. Yeah. And you never have to worry about it.
This applies for all things when you're going outside. So I'm gonna say Tasha, because I know what it is, but I want you to specifically tell them what a flat kit involves, because it's pretty simple, but list the items in a flat kit. It's like,
well, I don't really bring a flat kit.
Okay.
I bring a spare tube and a CO2 cartridge.
Okay, so that's a flat kit, though.
Okay.
Yes. So
some people bring I thought you meant patch kit.
No.
I'm not patching up my tire.
No. A flat kit is literally.
I basically bring a spare tube. And I bring a CO2 cartridge.
Or a small pump.
Or a small pump, whatever. CO2 cartridge works great because it's super quick. And that's pretty much what that's
a flat kit.
That's what I bring with me.
Or if you need the tools to change the tire, then bring those small little tire tools.
If it's hard, if you have a really firm or very non-flexible, whatever you want to call it, tire, you're gonna want those little caliper things.
Exactly. The other important thing, as always with any endurance sports, is bring nutrition, hydration, most important, especially on hot days. Bonking is a problem, and bonking can be seriously dangerous.
Yeah, because if you're out in the country doing a ride where there's no Tim Hortons, there's no Starbucks, those luxuries of riding in the city, you don't know how far it is that you have to go to get that. So just make sure you have it's simple. Just put something in your back pocket. It can be a bar, a gel,
yeah,
just something, banana,
right?
You know, just to have with you, because you never know what can happen.
You never know.
Right?
I always bring, this is shameless plug for Honey Max, but I always bring a couple of single packets of Honey Max in my pouch, in my back pocket, so that I can just douse my water, like double scoop my water so it's full of electrolytes and food, so I don't have to carry the banana.
Yep.
And I find that works really, really well.
Another one, just make sure your cell phone is charged.
Yeah, so
you know, always go with it. You know, and also the rider ID.
Rider ID is actually
for
another...
those of you that don't have it, it's something that is definitely important. It is basically a band that has your name on it. It has emergency person on it, their name, their phone number. Some people have their blood type on it.
Yeah.
And it just, if you were to get in an accident and there's nobody around and you're not conscious or you're unconscious and people don't know who you are, it just gives a phone number for who to reach that people can get in touch with for you. So it's just something that, you know, cell phone, definitely have it on you, but having that rider ID.
Yeah,
definitely.
I have my rider ID says live fearlessly, and that's it. I should put my phone number on the back like a dog tag. Yeah, okay, so those are like the basics of riding in a pack. Oh. And one of the things I've learned. Yes? No, what?
Next question. Sorry.
What's the next question?
Going on? I just want about the routes.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that.
Sorry about that.
So I'm just going to show the little tiny amount of riding videos. So this is me riding with the pack last weekend. See, they go kind of, you can't really tell, but they're going not slow right now.
I wouldn't think they're going fast, but I know that when you're in there,
yeah,
it's completely
fast. Yeah, it's pretty fast. So it's, you know, it's comfortable, and
I actually have another question that just came up.
Okay.
You ride with aero bars.
Yeah.
Now,
no,
are there any rules around? Because I know sometimes when you're riding in a pack, you're not allowed to have. Does a donut ride? Are you?
There is a guy there that rides. He was riding on Saturday with the aero bars, and it made me nervous. I would never go into aero with that many people around me. If I'm by myself and I needed to, like, when I got dropped a little bit, just after one of the scary sprints, I actually was down in my aero bars, just because I was all by myself. But you're allowed to have arrow? Like there are guys that had arrows on their bikes, but I don't think if you were down in an arrow inside the pack, I don't think they would.
But they allow you to ride that type of bike?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, my arrows, just, I'm too lazy to take them off. But
because I know some group rides you're not allowed. So I'm just curious as to if the donut ride, if they're fine with.
Well, it's just a ride, remember? There's no rules.
So triathletes and those people doing Ironman, if you want a good training ride, come on out.
The group of anarchy bike riders. Okay, so the routes, awesome routes. 3 routes, official routes. There's an 85K route, 110K route, and a roughly about 130K route.
That's good.
The 85K route is actually fairly simple, straightforward, not that hilly. The middle route, medium route, is 110K. It's there's quite a bit of rolling hills in the middle, actually bigger than rolling hills. And the 130K ride is even hillier, extremely fast. If it's your first time, don't even try it, because I did and I failed miserably. First timers go 85, and if you're somewhat pretty confident with your speed, I would go 110. But I think if it's your very, very, very first time, go 85 and enjoy it, and then challenge yourself for the next time. So
good to know.
There is a 4th route, and it goes quite long, and probably maybe 2 or 3 guys take that ride, if at all. So that's what I know about the donut ride.
If people have other questions, where can they find more information about the donut ride?
So you can go to the website. It's let me see, sorry guys. It is the www.donutride -toronto.ca. So donutride-toronto.ca. You can just also Google donut ride, and tons of information will come up about it.
Thank you.
Tasha's going to come out one day, she promises.
I will. And if you want more information, Michelle did an excellent blog on her experiences at the donut ride. So where can people find that?
So thank you for reminding me. So it's michelletherunner.com, and I just wrote it. It's called Inside Toronto's Donut Ride, and actually it was actually a really good review. It gives you all the tips that you just heard and a little bit more.
Awesome.
Some great pictures with me and some of the vets, and yeah, how much it was just a really great. It's a really great time. The guys are awesome. They all really just want to help. So yeah,
great.
Highly recommend it. Best Saturday you'll ever have in your life, guaranteed.
As soon as my race season is over in 3 to 4 weeks, I will be coming out to the donut ride.
Oh, and a good thing you said. One more thing. They ride all winter.
Oh, yes. Dear.
So get your winter clothing gear on sale anywhere you can find it.
And we will be doing some gear review on some good winter gear as we move into the, well, we could probably do it now because it's actually not the warmest out.
It's October? No, it's October. Okay, so Tascha, what have you got for us?
So, many of you watching who are experienced cyclists will know that your first saddle is never going to be the saddle you stick with. I bought my bike and I thought, oh great, I'm not going to have to purchase anything for my bike, and yeah, it was very wrong. That was a fail. I have a bag with about 10 saddles in it. I have tried every single saddle you can think of. I've tried every brand. I've tried all these saddles that said, oh, this is going to be the one for you. This is top saddle. Yeah, no. I tried all of them, and I ended up with the Specialized Ruby Pro, which is this right here.
Nice.
It is an amazing saddle.
It's pretty light, too.
It's very light.
It's feather light.
My longest ride was about 200K, and my girly area and my butt were not sore at all.
Okay, so, TMI. I have one thing to point out. Last week, off air, Tascha told me not to wear underwear on my bike ride, and that riders don't do this.
No.
Yeah, well, guess what? I went and took her advice. I can't sit properly now. So I'm not sure, but I asked a couple other women, and wearing underwear is actually okay, and they need to wear underwear. I need that layer between me and that saddle and the chamois. I'm sorry. I did everything. Chamois butter, Vaseline, the whole bit.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
You know what? It's personal preference.
I know,
right?
but I'm like, I was in
can't.
pain.
Yeah.
I was in pain.
So some of those women out there can relate to Michelle. Other women can relate to me that you cannot wear underwear with your cycling shorts.
Just like we always say, every woman is different.
To each its own. Exactly. Yes. Okay. So anyways, this saddle is amazing. I have been riding it for 3 years. Not this one. I've had to buy another one. It is women specific. You'll notice here, I'm trying to let you guys see it. Okay. You'll notice there's a cutout right here. On most of the men's saddle, not all of them, but most of them, you will notice that there isn't a cutout. This is for women. It is a godsend to me. I need a cutout.
Are we getting personal here?
Well, a little bit.
Okay.
It relieves that pressure.
Okay.
There's those pressure points, and having that cutout relieves that pressure, because if you're sitting here and your pelvis is pushing down on it, it can get really sore, and it's that rubbing and that chafing, and so having this cutout relieves that pressure.
Okay.
So I cannot have a saddle without a cutout. I have tried and tried. There's been these gorgeous saddles that I've been like, that's the one I want. It matches my bike. Can't do it.
Okay.
So I've had to stick with this. It is super lightweight.
Is it carbon?
It has carbon rails. Super lightweight. You'll notice that there's a little bit of cushioning here. I cannot do the saddles that are completely carbon fiber, that are like, they look like a piece of sheet metal, like they're so thin. I need a little bit of cushion, and a lot of women will need that, especially if you're a little bonier.
Yeah, women tend to have bony butts.
Women do tend to have bony butts. So it's personal preference. Specialized has different saddles with different amounts of cushion. This is the one that I found is best for me. Michelle, you may want something completely different.
Yeah.
But this one is the one that I chose. It also is flexible, so it flexes to your sit bones.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Can I ask a question? How many miles does it take to work a saddle in generally?
This saddle didn't take very long.
Okay.
It was comfortable for me right away.
Okay. So
but generally, it's like anything. It takes a little bit to work, you know. And once this is heated, like your butt's on it for a while, it'll mold to your seat. Sit bones. So one thing to take note of is that you need to make sure that you have the right size of saddle. Some of us have wider hip bones. Some of us have wider, like, I need a wider saddle, not because I have a wider butt, but just my sit bones and my hips are wider. So if you have a saddle that's too small, it's going to dig into you.
Okay.
So you need to make sure that if you are purchasing a saddle, they usually have, we kind of call it a buttometer.
Okay.
A buttometer. So you sit on it, and it basically does a little mold of your sit bones, and it'll tell you
your ass.
What. Okay, your ass. So it basically tells you what size you should be getting.
Cool.
So
this is good to know because I'm actually in the market for a saddle, and I have no idea what I'm going to do.
So yeah, like I said, it's personal preference. You will want to try different saddles. Some saddles, they actually have a demo program. So Specialized used to have it. Unfortunately, they don't anymore, where they would lend you a tester saddle, and you could ride it for a couple weeks, pay a deposit, and then when you return it undamaged, they would give it back to you. And that's how I found out about it.
I think that they should do that again.
I do.
I feel like we should start.
I agree with that.
People. Yeah.
You know, because
you're investing a lot of money in these things. Like they cost roughly
$200.
$200, yeah.
But one tip or trick, if you are putting this on your bike, if you put some tape around the rails, it prevents it from getting scratched. So a lot of places will let you test a saddle as long as you tape it, and if it's in perfect condition, they'll let you return it.
Okay.
So put some tape around it. Yeah.
It's like taking a pair of running shoes on a treadmill.
Exactly. Cool. Little tester program.
Nice.
So like I said, Specialized Ruby Pro, the best saddle ever. I have a bag full, so if anyone needs saddles, I have tons of them.
I need to wear test a couple.
You can try them all.
I need a physics.
Oh gosh.
I know. We
didn't work for me.
We talked about that. So everybody, guess what I did? I went supporting on the weekend, and I just happened to win a race.
Because Michelle has difficulty sitting still and just enjoying a weekend.
I don't know what that's about. So, well, there was like a whole bunch of races this weekend. There was the Iroquois Trail Test, which Simon Donato was at.
Tremblant Ironman.
Which Simon Whitfield was probably at. All my Simons were in the area this weekend. So, instead, I went down to Port Dover, and I have a little video to show you. Here it is. Hi, it's Michelle from the GetOutThere Girls, and today I spontaneously decided to come to Port Dover and do the Ontario Subboard Series. This is my very first race, so I entered the novice portion of the race, and my friend Rochelle here has decided to give me a couple of pointers just to get me started.
Hi, my name is Rochelle, and there's 3 pointers that you need to know for first-time racing. I think the first one is just focus on yourself. Don't focus about anybody else around you. Number 2, remember to breathe. Super important, because if you don't breathe, you're just going to waste your energy. And number 3, just have some fun.
So I just finished the Ontario Summer Splash Ontario Subboard Series, and I did the novice category, and it wasn't easy. The waves were really, really tough. I got a few last-minute pointers about turning, but I managed to pull off a first place win. So, yeah. Thanks to Blue Wave Stuff for lending me a board, a racing board, the carbon fiber 12-6 board, and I hope to do this again soon.
This is what it's all about. Everyone having a good time and enjoying the challenges.
So
congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it was actually really, really hard. I only did the short course, but the wind was just coming headstrong to my head, and the one girl in front of me actually couldn't even stay on her board. She just kept flipping over. I have to say, once again, a humongous thank you and shout out to Blue Wave Sup, because these guys are awesome. I mean, they are one of the nicest community supporters, and I showed up completely unprepared, literally emailing Aaron on my way down to the race saying, dude, I just decided I'm coming down. Is there a board? I didn't have a board. I didn't have a paddle. All I had was a bikini and a GoPro, honest to God. I am not kidding you. So showed up to the race, and the Ariel, who is the event manager, was grabbing my board as I showed up to the race. I had 5 minutes to race registration, got registered. Everybody, I had IOUs all over the place. I'll bring you the money later. I'll bring you the money later. Everyone was so cool. It is such a cool community. And I also was lucky enough to race what I had said, the Blue Wave Carbon Fiber 12.6, which is the same board that Simon Whitfield uses to race.
What is just you and Simon Whitfield?
Just saying. I just want everyone to know I was racing because I love him. Okay, so.
Sorry, Michelle.
I know. I have a thing for Simons. Okay, so now, next week, we are going to be doing, our show is going to be all about core. So we decided that we're going to talk all about core strength training, and because we believe that a strong core makes a strong athlete. Yeah. So one of the things I have learned this summer is all the cycling and cross training has really made me a stronger runner, and like really made me a stronger runner. And I can feel it like in my hips, in my glutes, and all through my obliques. So I want to share some of the exercises I've been doing to strengthen.
I want to learn some new ones.
She wants to learn some new ones, and I have a thing on Instagram now, Tuesday Tips, so we're going to be sharing some of those exercises. So yeah, we're going to go through the pros and cons of yoga, and why you have to do some of the exercises and why you shouldn't do some of the exercises, because a lot of people don't realize that there are exercises in yoga that are kind of dangerous for athletes.
Yeah, and they can damage.
They can damage.
You can pull things, and if you're not doing them properly.
Yeah, and guess what? I'm going to try to get Tasha to come with me because she is supposed to be a Get Out There girl, but I'm going to Joe Rockheads this week to learn how to climb, and I'm super afraid of heights. So this is another exercise I'm doing to help cross-train and get my core even stronger for my bike race that's coming up and for my big, humongous marathon called the 50 Miler. So,
awesome.
Tasha, are you going to come?
Yeah.
I'll try. Okay. Well, I'm terrified, so.
Okay.
So we're going to do that, and then I'm teaching Tasha the one core exercise that every athlete needs to know.
Awesome.
So we've already reviewed, and she thinks it's a good one. So next week, join us at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on GOTLIVE, and we promise we'll have a guest.
We will have a guest, and just wanted to make a shout out that this coming weekend is the very last Ontario Cup cycling race, which I'm competing at. There's a time trial on Saturday, and there's a road race on the Sunday, and it's the final one for the season, and it is at Deerhurst. So if any of you are out there and you want to come see some great racing, Saturday and Sunday.
Bring a bikini and a GoPro. That's all you need. Okay, so anyway, thanks again for everybody for your patience and waiting, and we'll see you next Monday at 8 p.m.